Aries, welcome to your weekly reading for August 22nd to the 28th. Right, let's get started and see what messages we have for you this week, Aries, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Keeping in mind these are general readings and may not resonate for everyone, so take the messages that do and check out your other placements as well, as you may have messages there. Okay, Aries, let's get started. What is the energy around the week ahead for Aries? Ooh, regeneration coming out very quickly. So something's coming back to life. There could be something within you that seems to be sparking up again. Or this card sometimes makes me feel like something that you assumed was long gone or long lost could be returning. Let's see what's on the bottom of the deck here. Soulmates. Yeah, this is interesting, Aries. You could be sort of experiencing the return of a soulmate, or a spark could be coming alive again in a relationship. Could be romantic, could not be romantic. For some, these soulmate connections are not always romantic. They're sometimes just meant to teach us things. And in some cases they're romantic, but in some cases it could be a friend, it could be just someone whose path you cross, and it's very profound, and it teaches you, it gives you an experience that teaches you something about yourself. And I feel like it's going to come, something is returning. These cards make me feel like, taken together, something is coming back to life, and it could be initiated by another person, or it could be that this other person is making their way back to you. Let's jump into the tarot cards. We'll save that deck for the end, and we'll see what the tarot cards reveal to us here for Aries with this regeneration of a soulmate connection, or a regeneration from a soulmate connection. What's going on here for Aries? There's the Ten of Pentacles, so that's interesting. This really could be something very secure, very grounded, very prosperous, very abundant in nature. And, it could be a sense of belonging that you have with this individual. Seven of Cups in reverse coming out next. Let's get the other cards in your row and see here. Okay, so we've got the Seven of Cups, the Wheel of Fortune, and the Five of Wands. Bottom of the deck is the Seven of Pentacles. These cards are in reverse, so that really makes me feel like right now you you may be at a point where you're sort of making choices. You're making choices about where you feel in connection for yourself. Where do you, when you ask yourself, does this experience make me feel drained, or does this experience, is it making me feel like I'm thriving? It's almost like that's what's on your mind this week, and you're sort of moving away from drama. You're looking at things with a bit of a limited perspective in terms of sort of seeing things as maybe being unfortunate or a mistake. It's almost like it's like you're thinking about things from the past in a way that says, oh, I screwed up in the past, or I made a mistake in the past, and I'm not going to make that same choice again. I'm going to choose something that I feel I want to invest myself in. It's almost like you're coming back to life, Aries. This is interesting. This could be a time where you're sort of turning things around, but it's almost like you're gazing back into the past and thinking to yourself, I wonder what would have happened if I had chosen this instead of this. And it feels like right now you're in a place where you're trying to make the best decision for yourself. You really want to, it's like you're waiting for your crop to grow. You're waiting for the seeds you planted to bloom. And it's interesting because when I look at this card, I sort of feel that same energy, that you want whatever has happened in the past to sort of almost turn it around. You want to turn it around and see what it will yield in the present. It's interesting. Seven of Swords. You might be finding that again, I can't help but feel like there's limited beliefs here in the way that you're looking at things. You're limited, but it's like you need to see evidence, Aries. It's like you need proof. You're feeling like you're determined not to repeat things from the past. I feel like there's a big emphasis right now for you on sort of being like, I'm not going to do what I did before. I'm going to do things in a different way. And I think your focus is primarily around feeling that sense of security. So whatever happened in the past sort of shut you down a bit, and it almost took a minute here for you to look at things in a new way. And I think there was a period here where you were almost hiding out instead of really reflecting on things. It was almost like you just took a beat to sort of hide out a little bit here. This is interesting, Aries. You've got all the sevens, okay? You've got the Seven of Cups, the Seven of Pentacles, the Seven of Swords, and the Seven of Wands. You've got all the sevens, and on the bottom of the deck now we see Strength in reverse. So this is interesting. I feel like you're coming alive again, and it's a slow-moving journey right now. It's a slow-moving process. You're still sort of thinking about things in a limited way by kind of judging them to see them as that was good, that was bad, that was a mistake, that was correct. And instead of just sort of seeing the whole journey as revealing without judging it, I think you're sort of looking at things in a very polarized way this week. But I think you're doing so because you're trying to make some decisions here. You're trying to make some decisions about where you want to invest yourself, where you feel drained or where you feel fulfilled. You're focused on sort of growing this new path that I feel like you must have planted the seeds in the past, and you're sort of waiting for your crops to come in. And a part of you is trying to make a decision, like, do I stay here with the crops I planted, or should I just go off and do something new? And it's interesting. I think that when you think about doing something new, you run into this sort of limited belief that you have competition and that you must compare yourself to other people, and that is holding you back. And it almost feels like you need to put your mind at rest and sort of just do what feels right for you without judging it as being a mistake or not, but just in today's moment, in the here and now, what feels like the path that you want to take, and it's interesting because seeing the Strength card in reverse makes me feel like you don't know what that is. And that's what you're trying to figure out this week. You're trying to figure out where to go from here. And it's sort of like, I really feel like a part of you is coming back to life. There may have been something that you stopped doing in the past, Aries, and now you're feeling like you must return to this. You must go back and do these things that you maybe stepped away from for a little while. Perhaps you stepped away from them because you didn't think that they would be successful, or perhaps you had this limited perception of what you were doing, so you sort of stepped away from it. And I think that affected you. I think stepping away from it actually sort of put you in a place where you felt lost without this. And seeing that Soulmates card makes me wonder if there is sort of a divine timing to all of the things that are happening around you right now, Aries, in that it's not about measuring success versus failure. It's not about that at all. It's about you finding what resonates for you. What is it that feels like you want to participate in that either activity, relationship, that inspired action, even your thoughts. Like, it's very interesting, this reading. It makes me feel like you're on the path of trying to discover what to do next, when really all you have to think about is today. And perhaps thinking about what am I going to do next is the thing that's creating the limiting beliefs in the first place. That's very interesting. Okay, Aries, let's close your reading and see what is the final guidance here for Aries as they make their way through their week. Hold your vision. Isn't that interesting? Hold your vision. There is something here, Aries, and it's a fixed moon card. Bottom of the deck is don't let your pride get in the way. So something here got derailed in the past, might have been the recent past. For some of you, it could have involved a relationship, but for others, I feel like the majority of this energy has to do with life path, with discovering the life path that you want to be on, where you feel guided to go and where your limited beliefs sort of stop you in your tracks, because this is interesting. There seems to be some pride truly getting in your way. It's interesting seeing that card with the Strength card on the bottom of the deck in reverse. Something is creating this feeling within you that you can't overcome obstacles. Perhaps you need some support and you're feeling like too much pride to ask for help. Perhaps you're needing some guidance and all you find is sort of conflict when I see that 5 of Wands, or the 7 of Wands where you feel like everyone's your competition, so you can't possibly ask for help. It's interesting. It seems like a week of getting out of your own way a little bit here and letting what comes through, letting it come through and trusting it, surrendering to it almost, you know? Interesting reading for you this week, Aries. I'm going to leave it at that. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope this reading has been helpful. Take care, and we'll see you again soon for another reading. Sending you so much love and light, my friends.